but
So
got easy
yeah,
ways for the Knicks to set up right with the spike carapace. They finally get some spice themselves. The Oracle's coming out another very favorable pick. And I guess, like, maybe the Idea Alliance have in mind here is that whole theory. If you give someone enough rope, right, there's plenty to hang themselves with. And that sounds like you're making an excuse, but we have seen this from teams before, right? This was happening in the Grimstroke meta, where people were so fixated on what was considered OP picks that they kind of trip themselves up, because these OP picks, like, they work in their vacuums and they work as part of like a conformed team. But if you're just gonna pick like what is rated as top 5 OP heroes in the game, then you don't usually have a draft.
usually I would agree with you completely. The problem right now that I already see is the fact that they gave them draw, and it's so easy to combo that draw with so many different heroes that work well with her. And right now, like, they pick up the Lashrak. It's a ranged hero, but yeah, it's not your usual right clicker. He's not going to benefit way too much from her, but it is a hero that does fairly well versus Necrophos. So I think that's one of the reasons why they picked it up. You also have the double stun, Nyx and Lash to combo it, and overall, yeah, it gives them some additional pushing power. It's a hero that usually does well when he has some save around him, and Abaddon is there to provide him with the coils or with the shield. So overall, Lash in this game, like, the main point of Lash in this game is the Necro, obviously, but overall it does fit their lineup.
And it's a great point to pick it, right? Because I mean, we mentioned this yesterday. Not many teams focus on it too much at the moment. Is the question mark of what this pick does, right? Like, this could be a mid, this could be a support, and they have 10th pick, so this is the perfect time to do it and force Alliance to respond to the draft.
Yep. And this Kunkka, it's an interesting pick. Like, Alliance, these 3 heroes, Doom, Necro, and Kunkka, they could roll them in different positions, but most likely what's going to happen is this Kunkka is going to be mid, Necro is going to be offlane with this Doom, and then we're going to see Oracle plus some carry as their last, because you do see that Sven has been banned out. So that's what Aachen Esports is thinking about too. They're thinking that the last pick of Alliance is going to be a carry, and this Doom is going to be played by Taiga, which is pretty common for them.
Yeah, there's a little bit of flexibility, though, in the way that they play Kunkka, right? We saw it yesterday. Sometimes Quick will take that mid instead. And Jug is a hero... the safe lane instead. And Jug is a hero that could also go mid. So they have flexibility lanes if they feel like they've got a bad matchup.
They have flex, and with this Jug, they did very well yesterday. So maybe that's one of the reasons why they picked it up. I believe it was done.
Yeah, they had like...
They had a good
Maelstrom Mjolnir complete when their opponent was like one big ass item behind.
Yeah, like in this kind of a game, you could even think about getting something like a Blink Dagger to get on top of that draw, or the Lash easier and earlier. Overall, you have this Jug that's supposed to be there. You know what? Like, it changed so much since they got rid of Madara. I mean, no, they didn't get rid of him. It's changed so much.
His time expired.
His time expired as Mickey came back from his sick leave or whatever. The way they draft instantly switches. I mean, it's understandable and it's normal, because Madara has his comfort heroes, Mickey has his, right? But this whole team switches around completely. The strategy, the way they approach the game switches up. The Jug isn't really your casual carry that can be sacked and then he comes back strong, right? He's not your Spectre. This hero needs to do a lot in the laning stage. Yesterday we talked about it too. He has multiple power spikes. If you are playing Jug, and if you're playing from behind, you're not feeling good. You're not feeling great. Like, in this kind of a game, what you have to do as Jug is provide constant pressure together with his team and just get rid of Aachen Esports towers and objectives as soon as possible, so that you can pressure that draw in that holy triangle of hers where she farms ancients and disappears and then comes with like 3 items and destroys you.
I guess the other concern... Oh,
Hello.
A boy appears that we don't see too often in here. Aachen decide to pick up the Bristleback as their surprise. The ace up the sleeve. And I don't imagine Alliance had this in the forefront of their mind, right, Liz?
Definitely not. It's interesting It's very interesting to see this Bristle. I'm wondering how they're gonna lane this too. Funnick is usually their offlaner, right? We're gonna see Funnick and LeBron most likely on that dual offlane. Then we can see VTune or Bristleback on mid. It'll be interesting to see what they opt to go for. I don't like. I've seen some players like no one win with Drow versus Kunkka, but it's not a great matchup for the Drow. Perhaps they can put a Bristle there and then the Drow on the safe lane, or they can even do the Bristle on the safe lane versus the Necro and Taiga Doom. But then you're playing Bristle versus Infernal Blade, and Boxy is gonna get free Vaunt charges, and he's gonna be even stronger. Maybe the idea is to put DM on mid. I mean, he is the mid player, so.
Trying to think if they could like try and leave someone solo and maybe force a dual lane mid, because I feel like Aachen have a strong Aachen, not even a K, right? But I think Aachen has a stronger mid lane if they force a 2v2 matchup, right? Because they have that Abaddon. Apologies for that, folks. I don't know what the hell just happened. Signal cut. Apologies to those that missed in the game. Maybe. There we go, the game is done. You haven't missed much, just mainly Alliance butchering animals at this point. It's looking brutal.
Yep, it's looking brutal. What happened? Where did we go?
Well, apparently, I don't know what the hell happened. Like, there was no errors on the end. I just got pinged by one of the admins. Apparently, they weren't, like, receiving anything. Had to reboot the stream.
Yeah, it happens, you know. Alliance was destroying Ahan's art.
Oh,
they
it had to be censored.
Our stream as well.
Yeah, because it looked like abuse.
Yeah, they just shut down our stream. We are sorry, chat. I mean, I'm not sorry. It's Pigeon's fault.
Whoa,
Kick him, ban him.
I blame me. I blame you.
It happens. It happens. Yeah, sometimes an arrow hits you so hard, the computer gets plugged out, you know. It's one of these things. You see, Alliance is having issues too. Like, they're having issues understanding what's happening.
Why couldn't they have done this when we had the crash?
I'm kind of blaming Aachen a little bit too hard, but yeah, Alliance is playing really well so far. They've hit their item timings. Mickey is 10k net worth, 11k almost. I was talking about that Blink Dagger. You don't need Blink Dagger when you have phases, drums, Yasha. You're just so fast. You can cut straight through them because you have this Doom and the Necro on your side. That Doom is going to have a Crimson Guard in no time, as he has that built-in Devour Midas, right? So he's doing really well for himself too. Overall, on paper, Aachen Esports draft, when they started drafting, looked good, but they're missing like this Bristleback and Drow. It just feels like they aren't really doing anything after the laning stage. I'm not certain if it's because they had a very bad laning stage, if it's only that, but they have issues. They definitely have problems. I believe this Bristle pick was maybe a little bit off because Alliance, they just decided to ignore him, and ignored him they did, and he was just irrelevant.
It's the Timbersaw factor, right? Like, Timber is that type of hero too. It's like, how do we address the Timber? Well, we just ignore him until we have the means to kill him. And then the onus is actually on the Timbersaw, in this case the Bristle, to make enough plays to get enough attention on him. Otherwise, the pick becomes worthless.
Exactly. I completely agree with you. And what's interesting is Alliance were usually the ones that had those problems. They were the ones that would have some Timber or Bristle that was just AFK and did nothing 9 out of 10 games. But they've changed. They are reformed. Do they have a dust? No.
No. They just want to let LeBron know they have a ward. It's very generous on this handicap, right? They're 9k ahead. They gotta give something back to the side of
Yeah. Bristleback has what? Vanguard, and Hood is going for that pipe. Let's just look at their item progression. Drow Ranger is finding places to farm on their side of the map, but she might get caught here because Koikva is invis. And for 5 seconds, yeah, Drow is gonna run down. That's so unfortunate. Courier, though.
No, didn't even get the courier. Went up to the high ground. Torrent gonna draw him back. Missed time, though. The Doom goes out. Funnick is invalid in this fight. Can't do anything on me. Slash goes across. The pony kills him. And the Scythe will kill off a second. 75 seconds without the Drow. Now Bristle trying to just get their attention. Say, pay attention to me. Kill me off. And they will blind. As they drag him back. Guardian Greaves up. And it's like no damage was ever done at all.
80 seconds on the sidelines for that Drow Ranger. And also what happened is he tried to at least get that courier and he missed. He missed the uphill. That's just...
There's a silver lining,
painful.
Okay? LeBron, I know you love this guy.
Tell me what is the silver lining?
He got the tier 1 tower mid.
He has silver panties or what? Like,
no, he got the most valuable tower in the game. He killed the tier 1 tower mid.
That's the only tier 1 that they have got.
When you're this far behind, Liz, that is a very big thing. Let's be honest here. And now Boxy, this could be a bigger thing. Next moves across. See? LeBron, amazing player. TI quality levels, in fact. He goes mid, he gets that tower, and he comes bot and finds the core kill.
I mean, this is good. They got this Necro. They still cannot contest Roshan. Maybe they can, as this rush isn't really falling that fast. Perhaps... Let's see, Phoenix is going in.
They don't have Omni Slash. They're supposed to buy back. The boat's coming through. This is the thing they maybe didn't account for. You know it's a low cooldown, but you don't expect to get that kind of impact. Forces the buyback straight away. Funnick trying to move across, but it's actually Drow who's going to TP out. And they're too late to stop this. DM goes in. He snatches the Aegis. The movement in was perfectly timed. He gets himself a second life, and now Alliance need to be careful. The boat buff running out. The Guardian Greaves to heal him up. Boxy has the Ghost Shroud to get away from the Drow. Spike Caps on LeBron, stunning up multiple heroes here. LeBron should still go down. Insania forced to use his ultimate on himself. But on the other side of the fight, you're going to see someone fall. Boxy goes down first, and Doom. Tiger's falling quickly to this. Overwhelming damage coming out from the Shrek and Drow. The rest of Alliance will retreat. They did not get that critical objective they were looking for. BK will make it out alive.
This is awesome for Aachen. Like, first and foremost, they take down that Aegis. They snatch it. They weren't forced to buy back anyone but Phonic. And Boxy bought back and he died again after. So he died 2 times in a row so quickly. His item progression is going to be hurt so much. And now you have this Bristleback that is able to actually stand up front and be just that beast that they have to deal with because he has Aegis, right? So he's going to be able to do stuff. Mid lane as well. Insania, he's going to fall. Yeah, they're crumbling at the moment. I'm not saying that they're still 9k ahead. I'm not saying that Aachen Esports is in the best spot ever, but they recovered a little bit for sure. And they are playing with the draw.
The cracks in Alliance's armor, right? When you've got people down, you need to play a bit more defensive. And I think the big thing to look at from Aachen there around that Roche Pit fight was you saw the buyback on Phonic, and I guess the weird part, everyone's perspective that we could see from God's view here is that Phonic was running out and Drow...
Parker view.
Yeah, Parker view over here. And we're on the VTS channel after all. Well, V-Toon was the one that TP'd out, but that's how Bristle got in. They force-staffed him into the Roche Pit. And you don't expect that as Alliance. That's not like you're like... For a moment there, you're probably thinking, wait, does the Bristle have a blink all of a sudden? BK, lucky that Drow did not get more procs there.
Overall, what was really important there is that Lash and Nyx got that Necro on the bottom lane. But even more, what happened is the pace at which Aachen decided to go straight for that rush after killing Necro is amazing. And most of teams would think about it twice because they're losing so hard. And they would think, alright, do we actually have time to get there? There's a Solar Crest on Kunkka. There's a Jug. They're going to take the rush by the time we get there. And they're just going to set up on us and destroy us. But Aachen, they are in a really bad spot. And they realize that they have to do something about it. And they did. And mad props for that, as they came back in this game.
Well,
Phonic?
Trying to get a bit frisky here. Phonic's going to throw out the stun, though. The boat's not available for the moment. He still stands up. Doom thrown out on the track. Forced him away. Hadouken Ball will zone them all out. Tiger chasing even deeper. Boxy getting pretty low here. False Promise has to be used to save his life. Boat going to drag the Drow back into this mess. Scythe gets enough damage and he's going to go down. The Omni Slash ensuring that. And DM is trying to go over deeper. Bristle trying to do what damage he can, but being ignored for the most part still. They'll finally turn around. They'll separate him from his team and they should be able to drop down DM, but a lot of stacks of Bristles are coming out in the meantime. Well, Mass on top of him. They pop the Aegis. They get his life once. It won't be hard to get it twice now.
Nyx is here, but how much can he actually
LeBron's
do?
almost dead. Look at him. He needs to back away. The cleave damage was overwhelming. They're going to drag them back. Spike Carrots to buy a bit of time. Mike chase it forward with the Blade Fury. They get one kill. They get second one. And they're in position for the push. The buyback comes out from Drow, but they're already on the high ground.
They're all just healthy. Look at them. They're all sitting on 100% HP almost. And they just forced 2 buybacks from the Drow, from the Nyx Assassin. But the Bristleback, the big bad pig, is still dead, so...
And they have the boat again, right? So they could have kept going, but Alliance, they show that composure, that same composure we saw yesterday that allowed them to so easily cruise through.
Exactly, because there's bounties, right? You go back, you pick up some bounties. After you have those, you can strike again. Alliance, they have learned from their previous mistakes. They push high ground much better than they did just like 2 months ago. When they were qualifying from ESL Birmingham, I was watching their games, and their high ground push was horrible. It would take them like 15 extra minutes to find a way of pushing, but yesterday already we could see that they got the hang of it. Like they make these crucial smokes. They put these boards, which are really important, these deep ones. So they scout the enemy as they crawl out of their safe zone. They strike them, they catch, they get the pick off or two, and then they push. Hopefully that's what we're gonna see, and not like 15 minutes of AFK-ness.
No, they're already scouting out. So they side abandon probably the worst one they could possibly find. They don't jump them. Too easy for him to escape is the problem, but look at LeBron again on the other side of the map. Looking for anything you can find. He was hoping to find a Courier, which might stave off Alliance for another minute or two. It doesn't look like they've got any sense. They've got Dust with no additional sentries.
Boxy on this top lane, he's
pretty
alone, but he has a gem and he's fine. Nyx can't approach him, Nyx isn't even there.
And he's been careful with his build, you know, it's not this Radiance build, Necrophos. He knew it would be way too easy for Nyx to
LeBron, X marks the spot.
He's been standing here for a while. This was bound to happen sooner or later. I think he was aware of this, because the good news is that does drag attention away from their base.
Actually, I believe what Kunkka was searching for is not LeBron, but the Drow Ranger, as she wasn't really showing herself on the high ground defending the towers, the tier 3, and then you're expecting her to be the one that's on your side of the map just trying to farm in your jungle to get some space, right?
Yeah. And I like that Aachen isn't in the base like right now. Like they've been trying to find a bit of extra gold. They need to get back to defending. I don't even know if they can stop them getting the tier 3 though.
Yeah, Funnick isn't porting. Bristleback isn't going back either. There we go. Bristle is keeping it.
But the torrent's there. He needs to be careful, actually. They do have the scythe available, and they're going to get him low, force stuff away. They knew what was coming. They even put the aquatic shield on to give that extra health.
Yeah, as long as that healing ward is there, they can push. The moment it disappeared, as it did right there, they go back. As well, what happened is, obviously, they took down the tier 3, so they can go back and take down the shrines. And use this gold that they have accumulated. As you can see, Jug has 4k gold, 4.3k. He's building towards that butterfly. Once he gets it, it's gonna be... I mean, yeah, you can proc with Drow Ranger, but it's not gonna help you way too much.
This is kind of the thing about Alliance's cores as well, is that they are...
They're running out.
Physic, like
Qualifier is gonna catch them.
Okay, Eknar, not the optimal target, but it's gonna stick his head out a little bit. Chasing through. Pop that ultimate straight away. The X is there, perfectly timed. Quick, we're going to drag him back into a big mess and a death.
It's interesting he went for him, as he had a chance to go for Funnick instead. That's right there. But Funnick has Yules, I guess, so that's the reason. Oh, Funnick now.
Oh.
Well, you can catch him next.
He's got the Yules. I'll buy him 2 seconds when he comes down. They're waiting for him. They even pushed it off to ensure it's quick.
Drow Ranger is running towards top, trying to outpush, trying to go into the dire jungle most likely, but the problem is your Rexes are gonna fall on mid. They do have that Crimson Guard on DM.
Yeah, but you can't even have DM commit deep, right? Because they're holding that side for him exclusively every time. Done. X. Boats coming in. They actually want to kill him off right now. Trying to protect him, keep him healthy with his Photic Shield and move away.
He's a very healthy boar.
A boar of pig. Well, they're the same thing, sort of thing, right? One's wild.
Porcupine.
A porcupine, okay. Yeah. Is it piggy pine? There you go. But they get one lane. They're not done just yet. They know they can get more. 30 seconds till the Shrek is up. Does have a buyback, but he wanted to hold on to it. But Alliance, they're going to carve a price out of this.
Vitun has finished his BKB, but that's hardly enough to stop this push. Let's see if they're going to manage to do anything.
There's no healing wall for 20 seconds, but the problem is they have so much sustain with the Necrophos and the Oracle. Look at the health. Boat coming through. X, they're going straight on the V2. You say he had that BKB, doesn't want to use that. Arcane Pike away. Stun on the free. Beautifully with LeBron. The Gust follow up as well. Is it going to last long enough? The real question. Doom so damn tanky with the Crimson Guard allowing to move away. They cannot even pierce one of these lineups. Tiger getting low. They might finally kill him off, but what's going to be the price? They're cross chasing in. They keep him like false promise comes out. Now, Jug going even deeper. Has Omni Sash. Has a chance to use it. He's silenced up. Anta goes for the ult though. Foxy, can he actually do this? He's going to be able to bring down the Bristle. Now, they still can't get the ultimate off. Juggernaut has to spin away. Doom thrown out with the X as well under the Drought. Going to drag him back into the Torrent. And there's the sight to kill him off. He's gone 120 seconds without the carry. And it looks like that would be GG as Alliance take game 1.
Yeah, that's just game right there. 2 minutes on the sidelines. You can't fight that. Overall, Alliance just played a faster game. They came out victorious after the laning stage, and I think that was so important for them in this current match as their draft, Aachen Esports draft. I think they needed this Bristleback to do a bit more after the laning stage. Also, what happened is, I believe Aachen Esports, they were just in disarray. They couldn't really find their moves properly. Alliance were striking them much easier and quicker, and it just feels that this Kunkka made them tick. It made them work. Like every single time you see Leshrac trying to split push, there's Koikwa porting into the trees, setting up with X marks the spot, and then you can't do anything about it. Perhaps if Aachen Esports utilize the Nyx and Leshrac a few more times earlier in the game to try and get some smoke, because perhaps they could have gotten back into the game. But it's very difficult when your 2 other cores are just creeps that aren't able to do anything for the next 10 minutes. Bristleback is just in recovery mode, and Drow Ranger was running around with brown boots and 2 slippers. So that was a very difficult situation to get out from. In the end, they did put up a fight, and this Drow Ranger, that hero is just crazy. Even in this last fight, she almost took down Juggernaut. Juggernaut that's doubling her net worth. It's just, I can't wait for her to be nerfed, even after seeing her lose like this.
Yeah, it's pretty insane what that hero can achieve. You know, credit to Alliance, not only did they look convincing, they were also very merciful. They made sure anyone on the side of Aachen died very quickly. It was a painless death for the moment. But Aachen won't be happy with that consolation prize. They're going to want to win here. They don't want to have to go down to the lower bracket already. No one likes that feeling. And it is the best of 3, so there's still a chance. There's still a shot. Although, maybe instead of just focusing on getting what is considered the most OP heroes, maybe have like a formulated draft, because I just feel like this Bristleback was like a coin flip. It was, you said yourself, you kind of could see what they were trying to do, but it was such a risky variable, and Alliance, well, they had a clear plan for it. But
yep,
short break, then we'll be back with the second game, so stay tuned, and hopefully we won't crash this time.